You think you're the one in control. But what if every decision you've made was never truly yours? Carl Jung warned you, there's a woman inside your mind. She doesn't argue. She whispers. She doesn't fight. She waits. And while you build your world, she's the one who decides how it ends. This isn't a video about women. It's a video about you and the war you've already lost without even knowing. Have you ever noticed how she always gets what she wants without even asking? We women don't like to admit it out loud, but we know what we're doing, not always with malice, not even with full awareness. But the truth is, we've learned to move the world without force, because force was never ours to begin with. While men were taught to raise their voices, lift weights, and charge forward, we were taught something else: to observe, to wait, to smile at the right time, to cry when it mattered, and yes, to disappear when that silence would hurt more than words ever could. That's not weakness. It's strategy. It's survival. And whether we use it to heal or to break, it works. Look around. How many men have you seen fall apart after a breakup, even when they were the ones who ended it? How many kings and presidents, actors and CEOs have destroyed everything they built for a woman they couldn't understand? We don't threaten. We don't need to, because sometimes all it takes is one unanswered message, one glance across the room, one night of cold silence in bed, and suddenly he's spiraling, questioning himself, doubting everything. Why? Because our power doesn't live in commands. It lives in the emotional atmosphere we create. Carl Jung spoke of the anima, the inner woman inside every man. He warned, if you don't confront her, she'll control you, not as a lover, not as a goddess, but as a shadow, unseen, seductive, and devastating. You know that woman. She lives in the way your ex made you feel like nothing without ever raising her voice. She's in that coworker who always gets the final word, even when she says the least. She's in that girl who ghosted you, and now she lives rent-free in your mind years later. We know silence kills. We've used it, sometimes to defend ourselves, sometimes to punish, sometimes because we didn't even realize how much power we had in that moment. Let me be honest, it's not always fair. Some women abuse this power. Others carry it like a burden they never asked for. But whether used or unspoken, it's there. It's in the pause before we answer, in the way we say nothing's wrong with a look that says everything is, in the tears we hold back until just the right moment, not because we're trying to destroy you, but because this is how we learn to survive in a world that rarely listened when we spoke. Power isn't loud, it's subtle, and the most dangerous kind of power is the one you never notice until it's already rewritten who you are. You feel it, don't you? That quiet pull when she looks away, that panic when she goes still, that helpless need to fix something even when she hasn't said a word. That's not weakness in you. It's a signal that somewhere deep inside, she already stepped into your psyche. And now she's not just a woman. She's the woman, the one who holds your center without ever touching it. So let this be a gentle warning. We women don't fight like you. We don't need armies. We don't need weapons. Because if we wanted to destroy you, we'd simply leave, and you'd destroy yourself. But if this is what we can do in silence, what do you think happens when we speak? Ready for chapter 2? Because the real war hasn't even started yet. You think the war is out there between people on battlefields and boardrooms, but the real war? It's happening inside you, and the one fighting it is me. Not me as in this woman, but the version of me that already lives in your head. The one you imagine, the one you fear, the one you desire, so much it scares you. We women don't conquer by pushing. We do it by becoming the question you can't answer, the feeling you can't explain, the distraction you can't ignore. You ever wonder why you can't stop thinking about her, even after she's gone? Why her silence echoes louder than her presence ever did? It's because the battlefield isn't physical, it's psychological. And in that space, words, looks, timing, they're weapons sharper than any blade. Carl Jung warned about this. He said the anima, the feminine part of your unconscious mind, is both muse and tormentor. Ignore her, and she'll possess you. Worship her, and you'll destroy yourself. Understand her, and maybe, just maybe, you'll finally know who you are. Let me give you something real. You're in a relationship. She pulls back just a little, says she needs space. You panic. You start trying harder. Not because she told you to, but because you feel her slipping. That fear? That hunger to regain control? It's the battlefield. And she didn't fire a single shot. Or maybe you're scrolling online. A woman shares a single sentence, soft, cryptic. If he cared, he'd know. You've never met her, but suddenly you're thinking about your ex, about that fight, about what you didn't say. That's how deep it runs. We speak in symbols. You answer with spirals. In ancient myths, men fought monsters. But the most dangerous foes were always the enchantresses, the ones who never raised a weapon. Circe turned men into animals with a whisper. Eve didn't touch the blade. She just offered a bite. Lilith didn't obey. She refused. And for that, she was erased from the script. This isn't mythology. This is every moment you doubted yourself because of a look. Every decision you made to impress her, chase her, prove her wrong. Every risk you took thinking it was your idea. That's the battlefield. And I'll admit it. We know what we're doing. We're taught from girlhood how to be felt more than heard, how to shift tone, how to disappear just enough to make you lean in. It's not always conscious, but when we do realize it, we realize we don't need to shout to be heard. We just need to feel right in your gut. So what do? How do you win a war when you're not even sure it started? You don't. Not unless you wake up. Because the moment you become aware, truly aware, you stop reacting and start seeing. But ask yourself this. If she's already inside your mind, how much of you is really you? And if the battlefield is your own psyche, then in the next chapter, I'll show you how we destroy without ever laying a hand. Are you ready to see how it ends? We don't break things the way you do. We don't punch walls, raise our voices, or flip tables. We destroy gently. You don't even know it's happening until you find yourself staring at your phone at 2 a.m., writing a message you'll never send to a woman who already moved on. That's the art of it. Destruction without chaos. Collapse without noise. We don't burn the bridge. We let you do it while thinking it was your idea. You see, our power doesn't come from direct confrontation. It comes from subtle shifts in tone, in timing, in presence. We say less and you hear more. We pull back a little and you chase a lot. We look at you and you forget what you were about to say. You ever felt that? That panic, that tightness in your chest when she goes quiet, when she just stops caring. We know that silence cuts deeper than any scream, because men are taught to react to force. But we don't give you force. We give you doubt. Carl Jung warned, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. And nothing brings you closer to that abyss than a woman who reflects it back to you. We become the mirror, not the one you look into, but the one that shows you what you've been running from. You think she left because she was cold, but maybe she was tired. Tired of explaining, of repeating, of asking. And when a woman is done, really done, she doesn't slam the door. She just walks away and takes the warmth with her. Think about that ex who was always kind until she wasn't. The girl who smiled while saying goodbye. The one who didn't argue just became a ghost in your bed. You felt it. The room was colder. Your chest was tighter. And no matter how strong you were, something in you cracked. That wasn't weakness. That was precision. There's a reason men build empires to prove something to the women who no longer watch. A reason they spiral, succeed, collapse just to get one more look, one more word, one more feeling. We don't need to lift a hand, because we know how to let gravity do the work. We know when to wait, when to smile, when to disappear. Destruction isn't about violence. It's about timing. And when it's done right, you don't even realize it was us. It's not manipulation. It's instinct. It's the result of centuries of having no sword, so we learn to use silence like one. Do all women do this? No, but many of us know we could. Because we've felt it. In the way you beg when you sense we're done. In the way you break your own rules just to keep us close. In the way you unravel quietly. You think we destroy you, but the truth is we just stop protecting you from yourself. So here's the real question. If you can be undone by a whisper, what will you do when we stop whispering and start speaking with truth? In the next chapter, I'll tell you what Carl Jung saw coming and why he feared the feminine force more than he ever admitted. Carl Jung wasn't afraid of women, but he was terrified of what we represent. Not as individuals, no, but as symbols, as archetypes, as something far older than flesh and names. He saw us not as decoration, not as mystery, but as danger. A danger rooted not in our bodies, but in what we awaken inside you. He called it the anima, the woman who lives in your unconscious mind. She's not me. She's your version of me, an echo shaped by every woman you've loved, feared, desired, hated, and never truly understood. And here's what Jung warned you about. If you don't confront her, she will control you, not with commands, but with confusion, with projection, with obsession. You'll chase women not because of who they are, but because of what they reflect back to you. Not love, but longing. Not clarity, but chaos disguised as connection. Think of the girl you couldn't forget. The one who wasn't even that special. But something in her hollowed you out. You built fantasies around her. You gave her power she never asked for. You didn't fall for her. You fell for the anima she stirred awake inside you. Jung saw it in his patients, in their dreams filled with seductresses, mothers, goddesses, monsters. He saw how men projected their souls' wounds onto the women they met, and how those wounds controlled their lives in silence. And yes, he saw it in mythology, in Aphrodite, who made kings lose empires, in Persephone, whose absence cursed the earth, in the Virgin Mary, untouchable, idealized, unreachable. Each one an image crafted by the male psyche, each one a trap. And we women, we walk through life carrying the weight of these stories. Sometimes we weaponize them, sometimes we run from them, but always they follow us. And you keep searching for something through us that we can't give you. Not because we're cruel, but because what you seek was never ours to give. Jung said, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But when a man meets a woman without knowing his anima, the reaction burns, because he's not ready to see himself. Not like that. And we know it. We feel it. That tension. That moment when you stop seeing me and start seeing everything you've ever wanted or feared. And when we step away, you're left not mourning me, but the part of yourself you never claimed. So here's the truth. Jung didn't just see the feminine as muse. He saw her as mirror. And the most terrifying mirror is the one that reflects who you truly are without mercy. If you've ever lost yourself inside a woman, felt haunted by her, felt changed after her, You weren't falling in love. You were falling into your own depths. And not everyone comes back from that. So ask yourself, if I live inside your unconscious mind, how will you ever be free? Until you face me? Because in the final chapter, you'll see why, even in your world, we always win. Let's just be real for a second. You think you're in control, right? You've got the job, the car, the confidence, maybe even the gym routine. You call the shots. You're the man. Cool story. But tell me this. Why is it that after all that effort, all that grind, you still end up thinking about her? Not just a woman. The woman. The one who left you on read. The one who said, "I'm not mad," with that smile that ruined your whole week. The one you're secretly still trying to impress through your success, your choices, even your failures. You see, we don't win by fighting. We win by being the reason you fight in the first place. And the funniest part? You won't even notice it's happening. While you're out here chasing status, building your legacy, trying to prove something to the world. We're sitting quietly at the center of it all, watching you orbit. It's like this unspoken rule. You build the empire, but deep down, it's for a throne you hope will sit on. That's what Jung saw, but most men still don't. He knew the feminine isn't passive. It doesn't ask for power. It becomes the thing power moves around. You want a real-world example? Look at the downfall of celebrities, CEOs, even politicians. Half the time it's not money, not business, not enemies. It's some woman, a scandal, a broken marriage, a quiet affair that blew up everything. And suddenly, the king is kneeling. Do you really think that's just coincidence? We don't need to be in the spotlight. We are the spotlight. We're the story. Even when you're telling yours, every major decision you've made, look closer. Wasn't it about love, validation, revenge, regret? We're not playing the same game. You play to win. We play to be remembered. And trust me, memory is more powerful than any trophy. Even when you think you've moved on, we're still there in your playlists, your late night thoughts, in the way you treat the next girl. We don't need to fight for the win. We already won the moment you felt something. And here's the twist. We don't always do it on purpose. Sometimes just existing as ourselves is enough. Enough to shake you. Enough to change you. Enough to make you build or burn your whole life over one glance, one sentence, one silence. You chase the world. We become the world you chase. That's why you can't forget us. Because we never asked to be remembered. You chose to remember us. So here's what Jung saw, and what most men still don't want to admit. We don't conquer with weapons. We don't conquer at all. We become the battlefield and the prize. And somehow, we leave with both. So tell me, if you've already given your mind, your effort, and your story away, wasn't a winner always me?